Hey everyone and welcome. So you want to play sports in college? You already know about the grind on the field, the court, the track, wherever you compete. But today, we're talking about the game before the game, the one that happens in the classroom. This is your academic playbook, the absolute foundation for your entire college athletic career. You can see it, can't you? Pulling on that jersey, hearing the crowd roar, competing at that next level. It's an incredible dream, and look, thousands of athletes make it happen every year. But that journey, it doesn't start with a flashy highlight reel.
That's right. It starts right here. Before a coach can even think about putting you on their roster, you have to prove you can handle the student part of student-athlete. Think of your grades as your ticket to the show.
All right, so to run this play the right way, you gotta know the field. There are three main organizations setting the rules. You've got the NCAA, the NAIA, and the NJCAA. And each one has a totally different playbook you'll need to learn. Okay, so take a look at this. This chart gives you a really quick bird's eye view. You can see right away how different the demands are. NCAA Division I, super strict. The NAIA, a little more flexible. And the NJCAA, well, that's your most direct path in. Let's break down what that all really means, starting with the biggest one.
Let's dive into the big one, the NCAA. This is the path with the most specific, most detailed, and honestly, the most strict academic rules out there. If you're dreaming of playing Division I or Division II, you have got to know this rulebook inside and out.
Burn this number into your brain. 16. That is the magic number of core courses you have to complete in high school to be eligible for both NCAA Division I and Division II. It's the academic foundation they build everything on.
And listen, it's not just any 16 classes. They're super specific about it. For DY, we're talking 4 years of English, 3 years of math, Algebra 1 or higher, 2 years of science, plus more social science and other courses. This isn't just about checking boxes. It's about making sure you have a really solid, well-rounded academic base.
But it's not just what courses you take, it's when you take them. The NCAA has this super important deadline called the 10-7 rule. It means that before you even start your senior year, 10 of those 16 core courses have to be done. And get this, 7 of those 10 have to be in English, math, or science. So you really can't wait until senior year to catch up.
Now, this is where it gets kind of interesting. Your grades and test scores, they work together as a team. For Division I, the NCAA uses something called a sliding scale. Basically, a higher GPA in those core classes can make up for a lower SAT or ACT score, and a rockstar test score can help you out if your GPA is a little lower. It's all about finding that balance.
So what does that actually look like? Well, say you've got a solid 3.0 GPA in your core courses. The SCAE says you'll need at least an 820 on the SAT. But if your GPA is higher, maybe a 3.5, then the test score you need to get actually drops. See? It's a trade-off, a real balancing act.
So how is Division II different? Well, the rules are pretty similar, but they give you a little more wiggle room. The minimum core GPA, for example, drops from a 2.3 down to a 2.2. The other big difference? D2 doesn't use that sliding scale. You just have to meet both minimums, the 2.2 GPA and the minimum test score. Simple as that.
But hey, the NCAA isn't the only game in town, not by a long shot. The NAIA and the NJCAA offer thousands of student-athletes amazing opportunities to play college sports. So let's check out their playbooks.
The NAIA has a really cool, flexible path. You don't have to be perfect across the board. Instead, you just need to meet 2 out of these 3 things. Get a minimum score on the SAT or ACT, have at least a 2.0 GPA, or graduate in the top half of your class. Just hit 2 of those 3, and you're good to go. It really opens the door for a lot of athletes. And then you've got the NJCAA, which is the world of junior colleges, or JUCO. The path here is the most straightforward of all. You just need to graduate high school or get your GED. It's a fantastic route for athletes who want to sharpen their skills, both in their sport and in the classroom, before maybe transferring to a bigger 4-year school. Okay, a quick but really important note for any of you out there who are homeschooled or are international students. For any of these organizations, NCAA, NAIA, all of them, you're going to have a few extra hoops to jump through. You'll need to provide proof that your classes and your curriculum are accredited and meet their standards. Okay, you get the rules, you're tracking your classes. So what's the very first official thing you need to do to get on the recruiting radar? It all comes down to one critical step.
This one is completely non-negotiable. If you want to play, practice, or get an athletic scholarship at a Division I or II school, you absolutely must register with the NCAA Eligibility Center. This is how they officially sign off on your academic record and your amateur status. No registration, no playing. Period.
And listen, the timing here is so important. Do not wait for a coach to find you. You want to register first. When you can send an email to a coach and you already have your Eligibility Center ID number, it tells them you're serious, you're responsible, and you've done your homework. Trust me, it makes their job way easier.
Now, there is a fee for this. As of 2025, it costs $90 to register with the NCAA, but it's really important to know that fee waivers are available if you qualify, so please don't let the cost stop you from getting this done.
And it's a pretty similar deal if you're looking at NAIA schools. They have their own eligibility center you'll need to register with, and that one currently has an $80 fee.
All right, I know that was a ton of information, so let's pull it all together. We're going to distill this down into a simple, clear game plan you can start using, like, today. So if you remember nothing else, remember these 3 things. 1. Register with the eligibility centers early, ideally during your sophomore year. 2. Sit down with your high school counselor and track those 16 core courses like a hawk. And 3. Really understand how that NCAA sliding scale works so you know exactly what GPA and test scores you're aiming for.
And there you have it. That's your academic playbook. The rules are clear, the path is set, and the first move, well, that's up to you. So the real question is, are you ready to compete? Not just on the field, but in the classroom, to make that college dream of yours a reality?